Cancer, you are represented by the Ten of Wands and Death. So for some of you, you may be carrying a heavy load. It could be that you have a lot of obligations, a lot of demands. You may be buckling under the burden of success. You may be resistant to something or meeting resistance in some way. So you may be taking on more than you're really capable of dealing with, or you're looking at a situation through a lens where you or your partner is blowing something out of proportion. They're lending it this crisis-oriented outlook and giving it some kind of life and death intensity when perhaps that's not warranted and it becomes a hang-up. Now, the Death card says that you may have a strong tie to a Scorpio person, or perhaps you have that in your chart. You may be resistant to that person or meeting with some kind of pushback from that person. Or there could be issues of sexuality. Maybe somebody's resistant to intimacy, or somebody finds sexuality burdensome. It could be that you're focused on joint assets or some kind of change in health. Perhaps there's a need for surgery, something that is life transforming, but you are ending something and beginning something else. Something has got to go so something new can take its place. And perhaps part of that means if you have been a workaholic or you're taking on some unreasonable obligations, that you release some of that. You've bitten off more than you can chew, and you let go and make a space for something new to arrive. Because the Death card says you're cutting out the dead wood, the outmoded lifestyles, attitude, beliefs, behaviors, and you are regenerating in some way. You want to empower yourself and you want this new life. And so for some of you, again, this is going to take the form of intimacy or crisis or profound change or something psychological or something to do with shared assets or insurance. So you are making some profound changes because your survival instincts have kicked in. And you're either faced with some kind of challenge or an opportunity that allows you to reinvent yourself. And so the motivation to change a situation, whether it's physical or emotional or medical or legal, whatever it is, you're drawing on your inner resources in order to overcome. And this may have to do with some kind of breakthrough connected to your history, the past, or property. So you or your partner may come from, a family dynasty of sorts. Maybe your family has a great deal of wealth, of power, of influence, or someone you're connected to. It could also be you're focused on creating some family traditions, or maybe you're resistant to that. You may, again, be focused on wealth that ties to inheritance or investments or assets or royalties. Or there's some resistance because you want to stay within your social circle. You don't want to date outside of race or class or religion. And so you stay within your own inner circle. It could even be for some of you, maybe there's some resistance or somebody's working toward an arranged marriage or setup, but you get a breakthrough, some sudden inspiration or insight, and something may take off. Again, you may be looking at your relationship and making some changes. In some cases, ending it. In other cases, you're starting something new. You may reconnect with someone from the past, or you change the relationship somehow. Could be that, there's some unexpected news or visitor that arrives that changes something. And so you're going to have to be careful of any kind of impulsiveness. Now, in some cases, maybe you're resistant to getting a breakthrough, or you get a breakthrough with regard to your work, or perhaps purchasing a property or repairing something. Now, your romance is characterized by the Hanged Man and the Sun. So you are waiting for something. Perhaps you're waiting for success. You may be waiting for a child, waiting for romance. Could be waiting on something connected to your health. Or, someone's trying to change your mind. You're looking at something differently. You're changing your perspective. And you're having to tackle something or deal with it in a different way. And it's likely driven by some past disappointment, loss, betrayal. It may mean that you need to have greater compassion in a situation. For some of you, there may be a tie to a Leo person, but if not, this is a focus on making some choices, and you may be waiting to do that. It may be an agonizing wait for you, where you're focused on your future, your destiny, your life purpose, and the people involved. And so, this is a time where you can really wield a lot of influence, or or somebody's trying to change your mind about that. And, you have opportunities that are in front of you, but maybe you're having to really look at that because those doorways of opportunity also create more challenges, perhaps more responsibilities. And you're having to look at what's necessary. Should you be sacrificing? And is that going to pay off? Or are you making some sacrifices that are worthless? You're not really getting ahead. In fact, you're becoming a victim or a martyr for a cause or an enabler in some way. So you may be changing your perspective, and a fresh perspective is going to be important to your success. If you allow doubt or frustration or arrogance to get in the way of a situation, you may undermine your own efforts. For some of you, again, there's some changes in your health, or maybe you're going to relax a little bit. You're going to let go of some of your burdens. You're going to go on a vacation with a partner, or you're looking at doing things differently in your romantic relationship or your health or your job. And this may tie to taking off. Perhaps a friendship takes off. Or maybe you leave a friendship behind. Maybe this is a friendship that became a romance and you're waiting to take off, waiting to literally leave, or waiting for the success of it. So you may be waiting, and again, it may be difficult because things are moving slowly. Maybe you're engaging in this friendship before you get romantically involved. Or maybe this is a period because of some past disappointments or a need for compassion that you have to be more of a friend to your partner during this time. Or perhaps you feel that a potential partner that was once a friendship can be a romance. So, and for some of you, you may meet a partner through a friend. Now, this may be related to taking some kind of journey or broadening your horizon, your understanding, your perspective in some way, or you're waiting for, greater freedom. Or in some cases, this is about running away from a situation negatively. Now, why is this occurring?